領域展開
If you are watching this video right now, then you have read the title, you see the thumbnail, you know what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Tekken 8 tier list. Now, in my opinion, my humble opinion, I'm going to say that this is the most honest, the most unbiased, the most truthful tier list you might ever see on YouTube. And this is not me just listening to the community on this. This is me being very, very honest in terms of what I see, what I have fought against, and just like the overall character. Now, my tier list is going to be based upon a few things: ability, usage, how hard they are to learn, and how tough they are to deal with. Now, if you look over to the left of your screen, you see we only have 4 columns because in my opinion, you only need 4 columns. Number 1, we got the GOAT tier, top cream of the crop, top of the tippy top, yeah, you know, it's top of the list. Next, pretty good, high potential, right? That means that this character can be GOAT tier, but they're not exactly at GOAT tier, but they're there. They're like the 1B, like they're not the top, but they are up there. Then you got Midi Mania, Mid Master Alistair, which means they're okay. Like, this is mid tier. Like I mean, yeah, they're okay on like a cool day, like you gaming with your friends. But if you want to rank up, be in tournament, this is probably not the best character for you to use. Then the last tier is argue with your mama about this tier. This is rock bottom tier. This is not the tier where we can really have a conversation. You really think this character is like good? I'm not gonna argue with you. You feel me? They're gonna be at the rock bottom. But I'm going to take Alisa. I'm putting her at rock bottom. Now, this is not to disrespect any of your mains. Alisa to me just does not have not only the it factor. I'm not really looking for flashy when I'm thinking of her, but I'm thinking of what's her strengths, what's her weaknesses, and a part of her flying around and, you know, using her chainsaw and things like that, she doesn't have too much going for her in terms of taking you far in a tournament or taking you high in ranks. Now, obviously, that if someone is using her and they are at a high rank, they're a good player. This is not, again, to down anybody else's main. My main is kind of at a weird place as well. Let's go to Xiaoyu. I'm going to put in GOAT tier. Now, it is pretty self-explanatory for her. She's just so good to the point to where one of her stances allows her to duck mids, and she's a very good mix-up character. You never really know what you're going to get from a player who plays her, especially a very high tier player who plays her. Like she can give you hell and props. She has speed, she's quick, she can dodge a lot of attacks. She may lack in the strength department, so her moves might not hit as hard, but she's still a very, very, very good character. One of in my opinion, top 5 best characters. To all you Paul mains, I'm actually going to put Paul in mid. Paul, in my opinion, is a mid-tier character. I was going to put him at rock bottom, but I'm going to be somewhat respectful. You feel me? Paul is a good character. His power is good, but he's slow. And if you end up matching him up, let's say with a Xiaoyu, for example, you can destroy a Paul because a lot of his moves are, I don't want to say one-dimensional, but they're like really straightforward, and they're not, they're not all around what you need to be considered a top tier character. I feel like they nerfed Paul, to be honest. I was watching one of my homies stream Wildfighter X, and it was showing a Paul and Jin fight, and Paul looked amazing. Like, he was doing really well, even though Jin looked how he looked, but Paul looked really well. I think that they just nerfed him. Shaheen is at the bottom of the list, unfortunately, and his moves are good, but they didn't really do anything to enhance him. They kind of he's kind of basically almost damn near the same as Tekken 7. Lily is pretty good. High, like she has her ceiling could be crazy. The thing with Lily is that she can stop you from playing the game. Like, her pressure is so deadly that a good Lily can literally take you out of the whole game. Like, you will not get a turn. She has great mix-ups. She can dodge attacks. And every time she does a certain mix or a certain dodge, you never know what attack is coming next unless you really like studied her, like for real, like you've honed into her. You feel what I'm saying? Let's do Nina. Nina, I think, is mid only because even though that she has a good mix-up, she doesn't have too much range, other than obviously she has like literal pistols on her. If someone knows how to dodge those, it's pretty much not going to look good for you. And if you know how to dodge and block, you got good defense, you can pretty much take a Nina out. But Nina is still good enough to be mid-tier, but she doesn't have GOAT potential, if that makes sense. So let's move on. Raven, mid-tier. I don't think Raven is a bad character. I think that Raven in Tekken 8, in my opinion, is probably better than what he has been in the past. I know they had Master Raven in Tekken 7, but I do believe Raven was in Tekken 6. I do think him coming back, he's better than that, but I don't think he's at the GOAT tier or GOAT potential, but he's not the most horrible character on this list. Trust me, we got some other horrible characters on this list. But I do not think he's like right in that middle. He's at a weird space. Let's take my main Jun. It's so difficult with Jun because I really want to put her up here, but I don't really think she's that anymore. To be honest with you, I'm gonna put Jun as, I'm gonna put her as pretty good. I think that Jun has the potential to be one of the greatest Tekken characters that we've had, especially in Tekken 8. One, because she has the ability to mix you up, she has the ability to heal her recoverable health, and when she gets into her mixing bag, it looks so good and it does a lot of damage. And then of course you have her heat smash that not only can take a big chunk of your health, but then can recover majority of her recoverable health. So it's very vital to her kit. But if you can get up on Jun and not give her space to use that, or give her time to use it, you can pretty much take her whole game out, which kind of sucks. But Victor, now I put Victor at mid tier. Let me explain why. When Victor first came out, he was high tier because he was new, in my opinion. But once you figure him out, a lot of his moves are very telegraphed, even down to when he uses his gun. When he uses his gun, you pretty much know what's coming. You just gotta duck. When he uses his heat smash, you pretty much just gotta block. And there's another move that he has, like, I don't know the input, but he can choose whether to go high or go low or go mid. Every time he goes to that certain whatever input, you know what's coming. It's just about you stopping it, to be honest. Law, in my opinion, is a GOAT tier character, and I'm explaining why. You look at somebody like a Ninja Killer. Recently, I've been watching my homeboy, as I mentioned before, Wildfighter X. A good Law player can do so much to make you rethink what you can and can't do against him. Obviously, you know, like, he has a slide kick, he has the nunchucks, which you know that the nunchucks are always in play. And it's not really much you can do to stop it. He has speed, he has range, he has technique, he has mix-ups from when he's on the ground to when he's turning his back. Law is a top tier character, one that's just gonna keep you on your toes. You feel me? Like, he's gonna keep you guessing constantly. Kazuya, in my opinion, is mid tier. There are very few Kazuya players that can make him look lore accurate. Now, I've seen my homies play someone that played a lore accurate Kazuya. I'm talking about he looked like he was the best player in the world. but it's very few of those. Kazuya, in my opinion, is too slow. Though he has like the devil gene and you feel me, all that other stuff, he got the laser eye and things like that. That's great, cool, but he's not better than, in my opinion, someone like a devil Jin. I'm going to put in the next. Devil Jin to me is pretty good. How potential he could be one of the top tier characters because of his 1, his kit, 2, his power, 3. When he does his heat smash, I'm sorry, it's a train. It's a train outside. I just want y'all to know that. It's a train. It's making noise. I don't know if y'all can hear it or not. But Devil Jin, his heat smash, 1, unblockable. On top of that, he can pretty much stay on you, and a good Devil Jin, like a lore accurate Devil Jin, can stop you from playing the game. However, the thing is that if you can stay up on him and you keep him grounded, he pretty much can't do what he wants to do. Like, he can't get into his bag of tricks. You feel what I'm saying? It's just my opinion. Azusena, mid. Azusena is mid. Well, she was high tier when the game first came out, because with her automatic weaves and dodges and, you feel me, the power she has and the versatility that she has, you would think that Azusena would be higher than mid. The thing is this: if you get a character, or if you learn a character that knows how to use, and you know how to use the mids, it's pretty much going to take out her whole kit. One thing I will say on a personal level about Azusena players, y'all run from a fight too much. Like, when y'all win, y'all run, and when y'all lose, y'all run. Like, it's kind of weird. Y'all in a weird place, but I just don't think that she's as great as she could be. Lee, low tier. Argue with your mama. Lee, in my opinion, doesn't have any big improvements from Tekken 7. And I say that because, yes, he has his perfect inputs where the rose petals fly up and things like that. But I don't, now again, this is me personally. I don't really know what they do. I don't know if they buff the damage, or I don't know if they, well, it makes sense they would buff the damage. But I just feel like Lee is very, very easy to predict, because a lot of Lee players pretty much do the same kick combo, or the same punch combo, or the same backflip, you know, things like that. But I just don't think that maybe he's just not used properly. But Lee is good, but in terms of the characters that are above him, they are just a lot better than he is. I just don't feel as though he is that guy in this game. That's just my opinion. Yoshimitsu, high tier and high key. Yoshimitsu players not only have to earn everything that they fight for, but they have this one ability that when they go into their heat smash, or, you know, like they go into like the heat mode, if they hit you with that sword, you lose recoverable health at a crazy rate. So someone like a Jun, who works better when she can get that health back, Yoshimitsu nullifies that, takes that out the game. Yoshi players have so much of their kit that they can utilize, and their mix-ups are just crazy. Lars is pretty good. I hate playing against Lars. Hate it. Lars is very, very difficult to predict, but a good or great Lars players can make you not want to play the game anymore. However, when you ground him, he's a wrap. But that's very, very tough to do. I probably should put him in GOAT tier, but I'm gonna keep him at pretty good for now, and I might change this later. The Bears, I'm just gonna put them both right next to each other, low tier. They gave the Bears electricals, and that's great. It's cute, beautiful, but they have a humongous hitbox, obviously, because they're bears. They have a humongous hitbox. So someone who has better range, somebody like a Victor, somebody like a Raven, somebody like a Nina, somebody like a Paul, any of these characters above the Bears will probably destroy the Bears. period, point blank. It's not really much to you know, say. Yeah, the bears are really good. I faced some pretty decent bears. I ain't gonna hold you, but I just don't think in terms of rank, I would put them any higher than bottom tier right now, unless they got patched or nerfed. I mean, no, not nerfed, buffed. Then that'd be the only time it makes sense to me. I forget how to pronounce her name, so if I pronounce it wrong, please correct me. But Asuka, I think. I'm gonna put her at mid tier. Now, I'm actually gonna put her in a respectful mid tier, and I say that because she's very good. However, she is Jun just without the healing factor. So to me, it just makes sense to put her a tier below Jun. They pretty much fight damn near the same. Only difference is that Asuka, I think that's how you say her name. Asuka, I believe, can hold her counter for longer, but if I see you countering, then I can just do what I need to do to move around. You feel what I'm saying? Jack 8. I'm gonna put Jack 8 at low tier. I haven't seen too many Jack 8 players since the game came out. When the game first came out, I saw a lot of Jack 8 players, but I literally do not see too many of them now. Jack 8 is good. However, if you can tech grabs and keep him at bay and keep him from getting into his bag, is pretty much a wrap. Now I know I keep saying that, and you can do that for pretty much any character, but Jack 8, one, again, humongous hitbox. Like, you can destroy a Jack 8. I've faced a Jack 8 that kept trying to throw me. I kept getting out of it, kept getting out of it, and I was using Jun, and because he was so like tall and like wide, like I could easily hit him with the blast, or you feel me, I could easily keep him in the air for longer because his hitbox is so huge. King. For those of you who have played me in Tekken, or have seen me play Tekken, or have heard me talk about Tekken, you know I hate King, but King is pretty good. King is a really, really good character in this game. He has the potential to be one of the best characters, even though he is a grapple gremlin, a fucking WrestleMania legend. Like, King is very, very good in this game. Very good. And for those who learn how to do his infinite grab, you can take away someone's whole game plan. Now here's the thing. If you fight somebody that knows how to tech his grabs and move around King, it's a wrap for him. But King, just off the on the surface, great character. From this me being unbiased. Zafina, I'm gonna put her in mid tier. I'm gonna put Claudio at bottom tier, and I'm gonna explain why. Zafina is really good. Her heat smash is pretty much unblockable, kind of, sort of, really. And her stances make her difficult to deal with. But you get somebody who can ground game with her, it's a wrap. Like Xiaoyu, I hope I'm saying that name right. If she fights Zafina, I think that the edge goes to Xiaoyu. Like, that's just my opinion. Zafina is good though, but she's not above the ones that are right there. Like, she has a nice ground game. Her stances are really good, but she has a stance where, like, she cannot block, and if she gets hit, that's it. You can cook her easily. Like barbecue chicken. Claudio is just not good. I'm not gonna lie to you. Claudio is good in the right hands. I think that every player is good in the right hands, but Claudio just does not have the skill set needed to be mid or pretty good or GOAT tier. He didn't make a huge improvement from 7, but he's just at the rock bottom, which is, you know, it's not a horrible tier, but you feel me? Argue with your mama. I'm really mad that I gotta put Leroy in mid, because I feel like they nerfed him from 7. Leroy was really good in 7. Really, really good in 7. Very fun to use. His counter was different. His counter was on point. I feel like a lot of Leroy players don't even understand why or how to use Leroy in the first place, because they just don't understand his moveset. Leroy is a very complicated character. In my opinion, he could be better. They could take him back to Tekken 7, like do that whole thing, and just give him the stances that he has. But as a character, he's mid. Like, he's okay. You know, like, he's not the greatest character in the world. Steve, and it hurts me to say this about Steve. Steve is a low tier character. One, because he only has, I want to say he's a one trick pony. Obviously, because of his playstyle, Steve is boxer. He box, he throw them bows, he throw them hands. Cool. Hands not going to beat the rest of the people that's on this list. Like, you have somebody in Azusena who can dodge his punches, literally. You got somebody in Xiaoyu that can like dodge his mids. As Law would tell Steve, hey, you know you can kick in fights, right? Steve throwing a punch, and any one of these characters throwing kicks, especially somebody like Law, Azusena, Lee, even though they're on the same tier, Lily, Lars, Xiaoyu, King, like, they will keep Steve at bay. You keep him away from punching, because that's Steve's playstyle. Steve's playstyle is being real close to you. If he's not close to you, then you can cook him. Like, you can really cook him from afar. It's kind of crazy, to be honest. Leo. Now, I know that one of my homies is going to be happy about this, probably. Leo, in my opinion, is very good. A lot of people downplay Leo, but you know what's funny? A lot of people are playing Leo nowadays. Leo is a sleeper GOAT. Leo, in my opinion, has so much potential to be like the next character that I'm going to show y'all, but they have so much potential to be a GOAT character, even if they didn't give Leo as much of an improvement from 7. A good Leo is a dangerous Leo. The mix-ups are crazy. The power is crazy. The ground game is crazy. Like, you don't know when the grab coming. A good Leo player is deadly. But that leads me to the person I feel like is Leo at their full potential. Feng. Feng is a top tier player, and everybody pretty much knew this when Tekken 8 came out, or they discovered it within the first week. Feng is a better Leo. Mix-ups are crazy with the power mixed with the agility. The ability to keep your opponent guessing at all times is just beyond comprehension sometimes. Feng is 100% a top tier character in Tekken 8, just based off everything I named. Bryan, I'm gonna say he's pretty good. I've watched Bryan players. I've also used Bryan at a very, very decent level. Bryan has great potential to be one of the top tier GOAT characters. The only thing about Bryan is if he doesn't get a chance to get in his bag, you won't see his potential. But he's very strong, powerful, and he's very tactical. Bryan is also like a legacy character. But if he fighting any one of these killers in front of him, then, you know, it's gonna be a fight, but it's not gonna be too difficult. I would put Dragunov in that same, I didn't even do that. Okay, whatever. I'll put Dragunov in that same boat. Dragunov, same thing with Bryan. Very good mix-ups. Can feint grab. He can make you think that he's gonna hit you, and he grabs you, slams you on the ground. Very strong. He got the low grabs, but if you know how to tech grabs, Dragunov is donezo. I mean, same thing with King, but obviously it's harder for you to tech King grabs because his grabs are just left hand, right hand, low. You feel what I'm saying? It's just very different. Dragunov is the guy that you're like, okay, he can He can combo, he can grab, he can finish a fight without even having to use his heat smash. Dragunov, in my opinion, has potential to be GOAT tier. GOAT tier, right? Reina. Gotta put Reina in GOAT tier. Reina has so much to her. Reina's ability to keep you guessing, move quickly with her electrics, hit you hard, unblockable grabs, combo you into the grab that like slams you on the ground. That's unblockable and you can't tech it. If you get her movement down, she can be a dodge master. She can hit you with the I don't remember the name of the move, but she can hit you with the low kick to where when she gets up it's a guaranteed hit. Like, she is overall crazy. Overall top characters ever seen in Tekken history, in my opinion, ever. Jin, I'm going to put pretty good as well. Jin still has the ability to be a top character, and they gave him a lot of good moves. They gave him a lot of good stances. The fact that he can tap into his Devil Jin powers a little bit makes him a very, very fun character to use when you know how to use him. They gave him the down hell slash or down hell sweep. His mix-ups are pretty good. Even if you know what's coming, you don't always know what's coming with Jin. But he's good. He's a pretty good character. Very high potential. Eddie is the newest character. In my opinion, he's top tier. I'll make the rules. Well, in this case, I do. Eddie, in my opinion, is top tier because a good Eddie, you can get triple perfect. Like, you can get triple perfect with a good Eddie. A lot of people don't know this, but now it's crazy because I think I do know his inputs for this. His forward 1-2, 9 times out of 10 when you get up to the higher ranks, people like to swing first. If you can do his forward 1-2, they will whiff and you get a free punish, which will then give you the free like boost that he gets. Like, all you gotta do is make them whiff, and his attacks are so fluid that you can be on the ground and you can get hit. You can be in the air, you can get hit. You never know when he can make you whiff and then punish you for a long combo. Eddie can keep you grounded. Eddie can hit you kind of from range, like in terms of distance. He does like the long leg kick that is a heat engager, turns that into a move. Hwoarang is the last character on this tier list, and believe it or not, a lot of y'all are not going to agree with me. Hwoarang is a top tier character. Let me explain why. You look at K-Wiz, speed kicks, even Lotus. Even though Lotus doesn't put himself in that tier, don't let nobody fool you. Hwoarang is a top tier character. His ability to, one, keep you guessing, take you out of the game because you don't know what's coming, and if he stays on you, if a proper Hwoarang player stays on you, he can take out anybody on this list. Xiaoyu can try to go low. Hwoarang's launchers hit low. Eddie can try to go into the like the low stance. Hwoarang can hit him out of that too. Hwoarang has the most potential to be probably the best Tekken character because he can do so much. Now, a lot of people just say, oh, well, the only thing he does is kick. Well, if you mix his punches with his kicks, your opponent won't even get a turn to swing at all. Now, granted, he takes a lot to be like master because you got to know what moves connect to what, and when to do this and when to go into the flamingo stance and things like that. But Hwoarang, in my opinion, top tier character. But yeah, that's my Tekken 8 tier list. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.